let's talk about emotion regulation and the please skills. The please skills are all about reducing vulnerability to emotion mine. Let's find out how. So emotional balance requires physical balance, as emotions are part of our body. When we are hungry, angry, lonely, tired, halt, this increases the risk of losing control. Routine is extremely important. We can't just practice self-care when we feel like it. These must become habits. This sets us up for success in our recovery journey. PLEASE is an acronym, and the PL stands for Treat Physical Illness. These are things like getting help from medical professionals, taking prescription medicine at the same time every day, resting in bed and taking time off when sick, and not putting off attending to our health as needed. The E in PLEASE stands for eating and drinking. Developing good habits here is extremely important. So eating breakfast, snacks, lunch, and dinner at the same time every day if possible, reasonable calories, trying to avoid sugar and binging, not skipping meals even when not hungry. Drinking, we want to schedule our fluid intake. Coffee and tea have a diuretic effect, so keeping that in mind. And what's interesting is dehydration causes everything from headaches to psychosis, so being hydrated is extremely important. Eating food for mental health. We know that carbohydrates increase serotonin, and we know that protein increases dopamine. Eating and drinking is super important. The A stands for no mind-altering substances. Substances of abuse. We know that chronic use can decrease neurotransmitters' ability for natural emotion regulation mechanisms. Overuse for longer periods create different pathways in the brain, making it very difficult to stop. Drugs of choice will eventually stop working, and individuals find they can't function on or off. They have the potential to cause lengthy or permanent changes to the brain. Although I believe the brain is neuroplastic, and as long as we try hard, we can make the kinds of changes that we want to make. Substances have a high withdrawal cost, and post-acute withdrawal syndrome can be super hard to get through. The next letter in PLEASE is the S, which stands for sleep. Sleep is super important. It affects a lot of things during the day, and it affects our health in lots of ways. So we need to get enough sleep, 6 to 9 hours per night. We need to schedule it for the same time every night and come up with a sleep ritual. So we wake up at the same time and we create a structure. So we have things that we want to do to help get us ready to go to sleep in the evening. Perhaps a hot bath, read a book before crawling into bed. The E, the last E, stands for exercise. Exercise is extremely important. Exercise helps us to feel better. They say that 20 minutes 3 times a week exercise actually is better than any antidepressant. Now don't stop taking those. So get your exercise every day. It's super important to help with our please skills to keep us feeling good. These are the please skills. These please skills really help us to stay at an even baseline so that you may not need to use some of the distress tolerance skills. If you're able to stay less intense with your emotions, then when stress hits us, we're not likely to go over the top. We'll maintain a much better level of emotion regulation if we practice these please skills.